The New Yorker magazine, June 21st, 1969. J. Baba. The death of Avatar Meher Baba, born Merwan Shahryar Irani in Poona, India in 1894, who called himself the Ancient One, the Avatar of the Age, the highest of the high, and who is believed by his followers to have been God manifest on earth, the incarnation of Zoroaster, Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, and Muhammad, was reported in the Daily Californian, a Berkeley campus newspaper, on March 7th of this year as follows. 15 minutes after noon, January 31st, Avatar Meher Baba passed away near Ahmednagar, just before his 75th birthday. On February 7th, his body was buried. For that week preceding the burial, thousands of Eastern devotees traveled from all parts of India, and a handful of Western lovers flew there to get a final glimpse of the body of their master. Meher Baba's body was placed in a tomb which had been built under his orders many years ago. It was garlanded with roses and placed in an uncovered crypt, open to the view of thousands who came to Meherabad. The variety of devotees was astounding. Hindus, Muslims, Zoroastrians, Christians, illiterate, poverty-stricken peasants to members of parliament, those who came in silence to others who sat throughout the day and night outside the tomb, singing with deep-welled devotion. The article, signed Hamadar Ust, a nom de plume chosen by its authors, two Berkeley professors Alan Cohen and Rick Chapman, which derives from a Sufi term meaning roughly, everything is in him, describes the last months of the life of Meher Baba.
Meher Baba's physical health had been failing for some time, although the general trend was interrupted by occasional periods of unexplainable recovery. He had spent the last 3 years into tight seclusion, doing intense inner work. Baba explained little about the nature of this work on the inner planes of consciousness. However, to those close to him, he implied that the work involved preparing the world for the manifestation of God on earth.
The master, who had not spoken to anyone since 1925, was able to convey these and other exact feelings to his intimate followers, or mandali, by means of hand gestures. This method of communication was employed by him to make a momentous and eagerly hoped-for announcement. On October 13, 1968, according to the Daily Californian, Meher Baba broke his seclusion and promised to receive his followers at a Darshan, an occasion for them to enjoy his presence, which has been an important feature for centuries of Indian spiritual and political life. This darshan would take place from April 10th to June 10th, 1969. The news was greeted with some dismay by the Mandali, who feared the consequences of too great a physical strain upon the avatar. But to this he replied that he would give darshan while reclining, a prophetic utterance as it turned out, for on the day after he was buried, his Eastern disciples cabled to those in the West and, in the words of the Daily Californian, told them that they could still come to India to honor his invitation for darshan and visit his tomb. By then, these close ones had begun to realize what Baba meant when he said that he would give darshan while reclining. In the last 2 months, thousands of the Master's followers from all over the world have made the journey to India, going on pilgrimage to the tomb at Meherabad and experiencing darshan at Guruprasad, a large bungalow in a many-acred garden on the outskirts of Poona, given to Meher Baba by the Maharani of Baroda. Among these pilgrims, there have been a number of Americans, most of them of college age.
Oh, beloved, I have come to bow down to the Ancient One. Accept my heart, accept my mind. I bow before your love divine. Let your love song fill the air. My heart
A few weeks ago, we went to Kennedy International Airport in order to meet some of Meher Baba's American devotees, or, as they call themselves, Baba lovers. They were waiting for the departure of an Air India charter flight that would take a 150-member group to Bombay. The flight had been delayed, and the airline had made overnight arrangements for the party at the Statler Hilton Inn near Kennedy, so we joined them there. The lobby was full of Baba lovers, nearly all of them young, who vociferously greeted each other, shouting, "Jai Baba!" and embraced. We joined Darwin Shaw of Schenectady, who had taken on the responsibility of acting as spokesman for the Baba lovers, with whom he would be traveling to India. Mr. Shaw, a middle-aged man with a calm, youthful face and the kindliest of calm blue eyes, greeted us warmly and asked us to sit down with him on one of the sofas in the lobby. By now, most of the group either had gone to their rooms or were at dinner, and the noise was dying down. Mr. Shaw, who works in Schenectady's traffic department, told us that this was his third trip to India and that he had been a follower of Meher Baba since 1932. We asked him to describe the master, whom he had seen on several occasions.
He radiated divine love continuously. He simply wore out the word incredible. You saw in him a being such as Jesus. You may think I'm exaggerating, but if you can imagine what it was like to be in the presence of Jesus, of Buddha, of Krishna, that is what it was like to be in the presence of Meher Baba.
Mr. Shaw then called over a tall, blond, very southern young man named Charles Haynes and asked him to round up a few other Baba lovers for us to meet. The first person Mr. Haynes brought us was Bruce Hoffman, a professor of English at Fairleigh Dickinson University. Mr. Haynes then left us to find some others. Mr. Hoffman, who looks much younger than his age, which is 31, was dressed informally in slacks, a tweed jacket, and a yellow button-down shirt, and wore rimless glasses. We asked him how he had found Baba.
I first heard of him at the Easter Bean in Central Park 2 years ago, when some Baba lovers were giving out pamphlets there. "Oh, Jai Baba!"
He leaped up, calling out to an acquaintance who was passing by. They clapped each other on the back, and his friend told Mr. Hoffman that he was going back home. Mr. Hoffman looked at him with concern.
"You're not going on this flight?"
he asked incredulously. "Yeah," the friend said, laughing. "Back home to India."
"Oh, right,"
Mr. Hoffman said, beaming relief and happiness. Mr. Haynes returned, bringing some other Baba lovers, who sat down on the floor next to us. We asked Mr. Haynes, who is 19 and has a square, serious face, how he had first found Meher Baba. Mr. Haynes told us that he is a theology major at Emory University in Atlanta, and that he met Baba at the Myrtle Beach Darshan in 1958, when he was 8 years old.
When I met him, I didn't know who I was going to meet before I went in. My mother is very Presbyterian, but when I saw Baba, there was a familiarity. You might say he was an old friend. I've considered him my master and father ever since.
We had noticed earlier that the Baba lovers were often very affectionate, constantly holding hands and leaning fondly and unself-consciously against each other. We asked Mr. Haynes if he could explain this, since, although most of the members of the group had met for the first time that day, they now responded so physically to each other, almost as if they were members of the same family.
You see, we are a family. As soon as you meet Baba, you know we all are one. Love is his only message. Love is what he released to the world. It's what draws us together.
We turned to Dee Dee Mavris, a slim, pretty, dark-haired girl who was sitting alongside us, and asked her where she was from and what her occupation was. Miss Mavris, who was wearing round, steel-rimmed spectacles, jeans, and a loose white jacket over a striped jersey, told us that she taught late medieval and early Renaissance Italian art at the University of Illinois, that she was 22, that she came from Fort Lauderdale, and that she had first heard of Meher Baba in 1962 through a sister who had a college friend who was a devotee of Baba's. Their whole family had become interested at once, their mother going as soon as she could to Myrtle Beach to experience the presence of the Master, which was still suffusing the center 4 years after his last visit there.
My sister and I went through this hassle because Baba had said, only go to Darshan if you love me. If you love me, you love everyone. Figured we weren't good enough to go. But my mother wasn't interested in these intellectual games, so she went right on.
We asked her what she thought she would find when she got to India, and her reply was almost the same as Mr. Hoffman's.
I don't really expect anything, and that's the truth. I don't want to expect anything. Baba said in his last birthday message, those who love me for what they expect to get, this is a paraphrase, aren't loving me at all.
On January 26, 1969, 5 days before he dropped his body, Meher Baba issued this message to be delivered on his birthday, February 25, 1969. To love me for what I may give you is not loving me at all. To sacrifice anything in my cause to gain something for yourself is like a blind man sacrificing his eyes for sight. I am the divine beloved, worthy of being loved because I am love. He who loves me because of this will be blessed with unlimited sight and will see me as I am.
To love me for what I may give you is not loving me at all. To love me for what I may give you is not loving me at all. To love me for what I may give you is not loving me at all. To love me for what I may give you is not loving me at all. To love me for what I may give you is not loving me at all. To love me for what I may give you is not loving me at all. To sacrifice anything in my cause to gain something for yourself is like a blind man sacrificing his eyes for sight. To sacrifice anything in my cause to gain something for yourself is like a blind man sacrificing his eyes for sight. To love me for what I may give you We'll be blessed with unlimited sight. Could be blessed with unlimited sight. To love me for what I may give you is not loving me at all. To love me for what I may give you is not loving me at all. To love me for what I may give you is not loving me at all. To love what I may give you is not loving me at all. To love what I may give you is not loving me at all.
For some time, a thin, very gentle-looking boy with huge, dreamy eyes had been sitting at our feet listening to what everybody said. He crouched with his hands clasped over one upraised knee and his chin resting on his interlaced fingers. This was Bill Williams, a 16-year-old student at Myrtle Beach High School. When we spoke to him to ask him what he was looking forward to in India, he at first seemed not to hear us. But then, gathering himself, he said very quietly that what he looked forward to was the feeling of unity that would be brought about among the followers.
Baba will be there.
He said, becoming excited.
It will be like electricity pouring in from everywhere.
He formed his hands to suggest a globe.
After Baba brings on the new consciousness, that's the way it will be all over the world.
The group left early the next morning for the holy places they were so familiar with through their reading of the various texts and books written about the Master, and through the reminiscences of older disciples like Darwin Shaw, who had already been there. They were to return to New York in 10 days. They would fly to Bombay and then take a train to Poona, 110 miles away, where the Darshan was being held in the gardens of Guruprasad. From Poona, they would set out by bus for Mehrabad, going to Baba's tomb, and most of them would also visit Meherazad, where his work is being carried on by the Mandali.
Before taking leave from this advent, you reminded your mandali to remember that you were not the body which they served their love duty. You warned them that they should not think the mistake that you were gone, that you would not be leaving them when you left your physical form. But like a thief in the night, you stole away from our side before the summer of '69, causing chaos in our minds. Cloak which you adorned, through labor and through pain, completely worn. The final sacrifice to the world from God, interred forever at Meherabad. Samadhi sanctified through the time you spent. Samadhi's destiny to draw pilgrims there. Samadhi as the pivot point of creation's prayer. Samadhi destination of all excitement sprang in their hearts. The plans to see their Lord began to start. But like a thief in the night, you stole away from their sight before the summer of '69, causing turmoil in their minds. Some fail to honor the invitation, avoiding what seemed an empty chair. The fortunate ones who accepted it found your presence sitting there. And so the lovers found him within, not absent at all there within, permanently living in their hearts. The empty chair filled up their hearts. And like a thief in the night, you stole away from their side. But in the summer of '69, you reappeared for all time. Avatar Meher Baba, you are here. Not your face, but your grace has appeared. You can never leave your lovers. You will never leave your lovers. Sitting upon his chair in their hearts, sitting on his bed in their hearts, distributing prasad in their hearts, living eternally in their hearts.
10 days later, when the Baba lovers returned, we were on hand to greet them at Kennedy, where we waited at the Air India counter on the ground floor of the International Arrivals building. The plane, like all others coming from overseas that afternoon, was very late. The charter flight had left Bombay nearly 22 hours before. We knew we would have to be quick if we wanted to catch any of the returning Baba lovers, most of whom would be transferring to domestic flights. The first person out of customs was Bill Williams. We asked him what it had been like at the Darshan.
I experienced heaven,
He said, and his eyes glittered.
We had 4 days of Darshan, and I felt Baba very much there. Many people said that he was there much more. I went to greet Baba, his chair, I mean, where he used to sit, and I felt tremendous vibrations from the chair. That was the first day. The second day, I saw Baba. I was sitting all scrunched up in the front. Baba said, "Relax, relax." I spread my feet out. There was a broad smile on Baba's face. It was a manifestation.
He hesitated and then went on.
The third day was quite exhausting. They had a picture of Baba on the chair, and it seemed to come to life. I looked at him. He seemed to glow. You felt your heart pounding the whole time you were there. The fourth day was heartbreaking, leaving Baba. I really have no words to explain how I felt. I suddenly realized how much I wanted to live there all my life.
Bill Williams began gathering his things together. By now, quite a few of the others had come through customs. Many of them were wearing Indian clothing, mostly pajama kurta, the loose shirt and pants seen all over India except in the south. Despite the late hour, it was now nearly 11 p.m. and the long journey. Almost everyone seemed in as fine a mood as when we had seen him last. Bruce Hoffman came up to us and we didn't have to ask him what happened. He was ready for us.
I found God alive and well.
He told us.
He really is Christ. It's incredible. I felt literally drenched in his love. All in all, it was a typical Baba experience. Not all pleasant, not all spiritually beautiful. Because Baba brings up all our doubts and fears while he works on our egos. But in the end, he tied the whole thing together somehow. I know it will take me a lifetime to begin to understand what my heart really felt.
We saw Didi Mavris. She came over and plopped her belongings on the floor. She was wearing a white kurta made of khadi, or Indian homespun, and she had bought an odd little rectangular harp packed in a painted red case, which she showed us. We asked her to tell us about her trip. She paused a very long time to think. Finally, she said,
The tomb didn't do much for me. I saw it. I felt how historical. The thing that really zapped me was the Darshan. You're in the presence all the time of God.
She broke off her account and sat silent, shaking her head slightly. A friend of hers, Anne Giles, who had come up to say goodbye, said,
When the heart is full, the mouth is shut. I've got to catch my plane. Jai Baba.
We had been hoping to meet Darwin Shaw again. Now, followed by Mrs. Shaw, he came up and sat down next to us on a bench. He looked tired, but he was eager to talk about the pilgrimage. After praising the arrangements that had been made for the group's stay by the Indian Baba volunteers, he went on to describe the darshan at Guruprasad.
We kept our appointment with Baba, and he kept his appointment with us.
Mr. Shaw said,
We were there in the gross body, and he was there in the spirit. His presence was very much permeating everyone, filling us with love and lifting us up so that we were brought consciously into tune with the Divine Beloved.
Mr. Shaw spoke very slowly, very deliberately in a soft voice, and Mrs. Shaw sometimes nodded in agreement.
Between the Indian Baba disciples and our group, there was a heart-to-heart exchange of pure love, reminiscent of the love feast of the early Christians.
He continued,
Everyone felt that the barriers had been broken down. There was a sense of newly experienced oneness. Again, the atmosphere and scenes at the tomb reminded us of the time of Jesus and of the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea, where Jesus' body was laid to rest. In addition to the Westerners, there were constant comings and goings of the Indian followers. A feeling of sweetness, which was also poignant due to the loss of the beloved's body, seemed to radiate from that tomb.
Mr. Shaw broke off his account to say goodbye to some Baba lovers who were going to Manhattan, and then, turning back to us, went on in the same calm, deliberate manner.
Throughout our stay, there was the quality of a timeless experience, which became intensified as each day passed. We feel that that will remain with us even when we are back in the Western world and we return to our everyday lives. And we also feel that Baba's work will now expand very greatly because he is no longer encumbered by the gross body, but can operate from the level of the spirit as infinite consciousness, which he has always said he really was and is. He restoreth my soul. This is what everyone feels.
To love